Yeah, so phishing became really the focus in around 2010, 2012, as more and more people were obviously using email and sending links to things rather than attachments, etc. I mean, attachments were big, but I think links sort of escalated the use of email for attacks. And interestingly, I was actually doing phishing simulations before 2010. So that was before guys like KnowBe4 and Cofense and others were really known. And so I think I was doing it with a Mac, sending individual emails with different URLs in each one to see
Really?
and a landing page with log files that I'd check to see who clicked on these things. And that actually came out of a project that I started earlier where I was dropping USB drives around. I called it the Honey Stick Project. And it was just a way of generating knowledge or interest when I was teaching courses to say, here's what people can do with devices or with phishing messages, etc. And so,
Well, wait, let's slow down there. There's some interesting stories there. First, first of all, I want to talk about the Honey Stick project in a moment, but I think a lot of people watching here are pretty technical, right? And they've heard the word phishing over and over and over for the last 20 years, and I think even the general public is sort of familiar with that word, even if they don't understand the exact definition.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of engineers have become maybe deaf or blind to the fact that the general public still really doesn't understand. They don't understand the risk. They don't really understand the vector. They don't really understand what phishing even means. Like, what's the difference between phishing and vishing and whatever else, right? And it's clear by looking at the Verizon breach report, like phishing's not going away, right?
Yeah.
Identity, like stolen, like legitimate credentials was the biggest commonality in attacks over the last year. Same the year before that. And if you peel that open a little bit further and you look at, well, how do they get a hold of these identities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like phishing's the biggest tool. So like it's not going away. There's been you're talking about a day before these tools even became available, but I think it's still really early days because we have a whole generation like of the public that still is not really aware how they can prevent themselves. What are they actually not supposed to do? I think there's still this lightning strike mentality of, what do you mean don't click on links? I get links all day. I have to click on things. I just had to subscribe to this thing and had to click on a link. So when you say don't click on links, like that's what an engineer says to a user, right?
Yep.
They're like, what are you talking about? Don't click on links. What do you want to just like not? I'll just sit here at my desk. That's cool.
I know.
Like
I think I hear you in the problem there too, because I think we've done a fantastic job of the corporate world being educated about phishing, right? That's why we're here. That's why we exist. But that is only a small portion of the world and how attackers end up getting into your account. Like a lot of people, like social media influencers. I don't know any, but that's got to be a very popular job right now. That your only job would be to click links, right? Like, so I mean, there's certain elements of like, how would I do my job if I'm not allowed to click links? I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to keep clicking links, right? And I think that's a part of the problem here.
There's a simple saying I have, which is links are life, right? Everything you do today now involves a link. You can't tell people don't click links. And some of the things that are happening right now really are pointing to the fact that we are all going to have to become better at managing risks personally. Regardless of how good the AI-based technologies are, the attackers actually have an advantage because every time we increase our technical capability, we're actually adding another Band-Aid. And we're never going to be able to go back and reinvent and redesign our entire infrastructure to be secure by design. And so